One thing that's been coming up a lot is China's surge in the life sciences. They have a ton of trials going on, and some are concerned that they may take the mantle away from the United States as being the leader in the life sciences and biotech space. And I wanted to see if you had any thoughts on that, and what perhaps the United States could do to maintain our lead and perhaps even improve on that.
I have a reputation of being very transaction oriented. Right? We have developed, with the exception of the delta opioid receptor technology, we have not had any of the drug candidates that I have brought in-house that have been subsequently approved and to have become kind of the standard of care in blood-related cancers. And so I get a lot of incoming, at least once a week, from a variety of banks, Chinese banks that are brokering Chinese companies for business development, looking at some very interesting assets, some of them later stage, meaning phase 1, some of them still being IND enabling studies, et cetera. It's very exciting. It's very interesting, I think, but it's also, there is some risk associated with it. If you look at clinical trials that are done exclusively in China, there are differences both genetically in terms of how populations metabolize drug. There are differences in how clinical trials are conducted at clinical sites. And so some of that data, I am confident, while it may be exciting to bring it in-house and say, well, we have proof of concept, for example, in a human lung cancer study with 90% response rates, et cetera, that may not be translated into the heterogeneity of the American population, the U.S. population. And so I think the jury's out on essentially the utility of those novel drugs that have shown clinical data, whether or not that translates into U.S. data. With regards to other assets that are available, it's quite frankly, I don't want to say no different, but you find them not just in China coming to the U.S. Quite frankly, there's a number of European companies that are purely on the development stage that are licensing products out.